Hello, welcome to Linda Kekiak. My name is Laurel. Today is a prep and chat video, and we are talking about social studies. I have been doing kind of just rotating some books through in our morning basket time, and recently I went back into The Good and the Beautiful history. We're in year 2, and I'd stopped it for a while. We've just been reading other things. I've been going through some like literary genre, like little books and stuff with the kids. And of course their Bible stuff, but we're back to history. So I thought this would be a good time for me to gear up for William, my 3rd grader, to do his Native American studies. Just as happening to how it corresponds with The Good and the Beautiful is we just started Unit 3, which is Colonial America. We did do some Native American stuff, like pre-Columbian America before. It's already been covered earlier this year. And so we read through that. And I don't do the like journal pages or anything with this. Right now, I've just gone to just using this as a read aloud. And then I do like the pre-recorded, like they have like little audio lessons that they can listen to sometimes with it. But I haven't really been doing any of their activities or anything like that. Like I could just have them do this, like read this, or I'd read it to them and have them do in their notebooking page. Like if I was using my everything notebook with them, they could on their social studies page do this. But right now I'm just doing it as a read aloud. And we do, I pull up the maps and images that go along with it when something comes up. And I do like that. And it's something that all 3 of my boys are listening to me do. My kids are right now 5. Bo's almost 6. Well, they're almost 6. I have an almost 13 and an 8-year-old. So we are all listening to this. I will say my youngest, he's mostly just like coloring or whatever while I'm reading this. But the older 2 are pretty into it. And of course, I always have a globe out. I always grab the globe whenever I know we're covering, like, especially stuff like this. But I always kind of work geography in just with whatever we're reading. Like we'll always look it up on the globe or one of our maps or something. I just like, I don't like to have to do like geography like as a separate thing. I don't know. For me, that was just not fun. As a kid, I hated doing maps and memorizing like boundaries, and I just hated that stuff. So I just try to tie it in with things that we are reading and not just make it its own separate subject. So anyways, just so this is something that they're also getting in their heads is some history just being read by me. But what I'm doing for my, he's working in his unofficial RC notebook right now, and he just is finishing up. He's reading Heidi, which is on the RC reading list. But I'm going to insert in here these books I got him. So this would be his chapter or book summary page that he'll be reading independently. And I showed them before, or at least most of them, in a video about like how to make an independent history curriculum. I'll link that video for you in the description box. But this is going to be me prepping for this coming up. And I'll show you a couple other little add-ons that I got. We say we've had our morning time, we've done like Bible, and I've done my read aloud, which right now is The Good and the Beautiful for a little bit. Then we usually, by that time, I like to jump onto math and get their math out of the way. So I may have one kid reading their independent book while I'm doing math with the other. Usually my youngest is playing or something, and then I just kind of rotate around until I get their math out of the way. And then I mostly just work with my youngest because he's only in kindergarten and he needs the most help, but it's also the quickest to get done, right? But I want to give him that undivided attention from me so I can teach him, certain things, especially with like reading and, math concepts that are foundational. But the other 2 are old enough to work independently a lot, and it's more of me checking their work. Part of what my middle son can be doing is his Native American studies, his books. So I'm thinking he can read one of these books a week or so. We'll see. We haven't read these yet in our homeschool, so we'll just see how it goes. But what he would do is let's say he started with whatever book, if you lived with, the Cherokee, and he reads, see, he's in 3rd grade. So let's say I want him to read for like 30 minutes. And just as far as he gets, right? And then he can just notebook. Okay, and then he can just put page 4, 2, and then whatever. He can fill in how far he got. And then he can pick, you know, anything he wants to draw pictures of or anything, right? And there's a lot of things to give him inspiration in here. A lot of pictures on every page, which I love. And if he wants to look up the Cherokee, because I'd like him to be able to see some like real pictures of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna refer him back here to the index, to Cherokee. So page 17 and page 26. So these are the 2 pages where those things were mentioned. So I'll let him cross-reference his book with this stuff, see if there was anything that he could see, like a real picture of something. Here's 26. So he can look in there if he wants to. And then I'll tell you what this is later. Okay, so then I want him to summarize what he has learned. Like what I learned about the Cherokee today is, and then I want him to write incomplete sentences, right? I'm gonna give him a little prompt about that, and I'll let him fill in. The tribe name today is, and then he can go from there. Okay, so I have all of these books. You've probably seen these before, but what I've stuck in there is I bought this from an Etsy shop called, I think it's called Savvy something. I'll link it for you in the description. But they had Native American like homes, and you can print these out on cardstock. And then, like, of course, here's this is the instructions on how to cut it out. But I thought this would be fun for him to make like a little 3D representation of their of homes that they may have used. And I tried just to stick them into the book. Like, so we were talking about the Sioux, and they were a tribe that used teepees. I stuck it on the page. I just stuck it in there. So when he got to this, he could stop. He could make this if he wanted to after he was done with his reading. So I just did that for all of those that came with that resource. Okay, so I've got Sioux, Indians of the Northwest, Hopi, Life in a Longhouse Village, so the Iroquois, and then the Inuit thought of it. I tried to find things that were more like story, in story form to read, but I couldn't find one for the Inuit that I wanted to, that wasn't, the only ones I saw, I was just looking on Amazon, were like, more like their folklore, but it wasn't more informative about the people in general. So I did just get this book. It's a nonfiction, The Inuit Thought of It, Amazing Arctic Innovations. We have one of those. So yeah, this one's a little bit different format for him. So I hope he still enjoys it. It may take him longer to read because it's just not in story form. Look at these great pictures in it though. Anyways. Okay, so I had the book. So far I've got kind of like a cross-reference book. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 readers. So let's try to do one a week and see if we can get through this in 6 weeks. The other things I picked up were, I just got this World Regional Maps coloring book. You can photocopy it the other day because I wanted to be able to, if we did want to try to locate the tribes on maps, we may want to photocopy these and color them, print them out, and put them into his notebooking page that he's doing. So he can do whatever, he wants to in that like blank kind of illustration space. So I thought, where's North America? I think these are all in North America, pretty much. Because you have Central, some of them might have been down into Central America, but I think it's mostly North America. 68. Okay, so they've got several different North American maps. Here's one with the countries and the major cities. This one's just the countries. Here's one without any labels on it. Here's one with all the states and provinces, and their capitals. Here's no capitals. Here's no labels, but has those boundary lines. And then here's one with no boundaries at all, right? So I thought this might be helpful if we want to find them on the map and kind of color in like if we could figure out kind of what their general region was that they occupied. So I have that there. And the other thing that I bought was the history pockets from Evan Moore. I've heard people say before, like on YouTube videos, that they liked these. So I thought I'd give them a go. And they have specific tribes, which may not, I don't have necessarily a book on these exact tribes for all of them. But for the ones that I do, I thought I would try to use their activities. And I'm wondering if I have to make the pocket or if I can have them just put make it more like an interactive notebook to put it straight on their notebooking page. So let's say, what's their first one? They think they started out with the Inuit on page 12. Oh, here's a cool, oh look, they've already got the map for me of some of these tribes. That's cool. You can do comparison chart. So that's something I could have them do at the very end if we wanted to. So make a picture dictionary, Inuit of the Arctic. Okay, here's its pocket label. If you were doing the pocket, this is a cut and paste. So there's vocabulary in here, right? For their boots, the caribou, Ikluviak. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They have a fact sheet on them. I really could have just had him go through this and not even do the readers, but I feel like the readers, a story just sticks in your head better. Tell me a story. I think they're writing their own story here. That's cool. See, these are neat. I mean, I may not use these things just how they're used in, like how they're saying to use it in the instructions. I may just have him, cut and paste like color and stuff and just put in things that matched up with what were in his story and just put it straight into his notebook. Okay, so I'm going to try to put the books roughly in the order that they're in here. So we'd start out with the Inuit, Northwest Indians. Where are we? So then the Northwest, okay. Nez Perce of the Plateau. I don't think I have anything about the Nez Perce. The Sioux. Okay, so here's one. I have one on the Sioux. That one. The Navajo of the Southwest. I don't have the Navajo, but I have the Hopi. So maybe we'll do Hopi instead. I might just notebook and skip with any activities. Iroquois. I think this one was the one we said. Had talked about Iroquois. The Seminoles of the Southeast. I don't think I have anything. Oh, this is Ohio. Kentucky. It's not quite the Southeast, is it? Okay, so these ones, okay, I'll put those ones, because those ones weren't really covered by that list. But, okay, now I have kind of an order. I'm going to have him do them in. So roughly follow this book. And then he has a cross-reference book. Okay. Well, now I have my thoughts together. So I've got readers, a cross-reference book, and some activities I can get out of that history pocket. And I also have these 3D models of different types of homes that he can put together as he reads through. So I'm expecting this to take about 6 weeks, and then we'll be back to our normal reading list. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.